Fire in the hole, let's cook some ribs. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome once again to my backyard grill. What I got going on for you today is we've got 2 racks of baby back ribs. We're going to put these in a pit barrel and smoke them for 3 hours. Then we're going to give them the Royale treatment. You'll see. First thing we got to do is get some Sang stir-fry oil on there. Why not? Sang's is our binder. It's our beautiful binder of our garlic smelling stuff, man. It's good. It's cottonseed oil with a lot of garlic and other flavors in it. I like baby back ribs because they're more meaty than spare ribs. I like them meaty. And I'm going to put some of my favorite barbecue rub on there, which happens to be my go-to rub, which is my root boy rub. I'm going to put some of that on there. Gives it a beautiful color, not to mention a nice flavor. So, got my ribs rubbed up. Don't they look good already? I'm going to hook them up and get them in the pit barrel and get them smoking. We're going to do both sides, and I've removed the membrane from the bone side of the rib like we always do, because that's what you do. If you want to be friends with me and you want me to come and eat at your house, you better get the membrane off your ribs. Okay, let me get them hooked up, get them in the pit barrel. I'll show you what that looks like. Stay tuned. Alright, the ribs are in the pit barrel. I've got some Jack Daniel's whiskey barrel chips down there producing a light smoke. Actually, they're producing a lot of smoke right now, but that'll clear up after they get hot. And we're going to smoke those for 3 hours. Then we're going to come back and we're going to give them the Royale treatment. So stay tuned. Alright, the first rack of ribs has been in the smoke for 3 hours, so it's time to give it the Royale treatment. And how we do that is we've got some heavy duty aluminum foil, and we've got some butter. Some pats of butter we're going to lay on top of there. About, let me see, let's call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pats of butter. This one looks like a double pat. So let's get that separated. 6 pats of butter. There you go. And some brown sugar. A little bit of brown sugar we're going to sprinkle on there. We're going to do this on both sides, and we're going to wrap them. So I already put some down on the foil before I laid the ribs down. Now here's what I mean by the Royale treatment. We got some tiger sauce. We're going to lay some tiger sauce on there. A little bit of tiger sauce right down the middle. I love tiger sauce. Oh boy, look at that. We've got that brown sugar, that butter, and the tiger sauce on both sides of the ribs. We're going to wrap them up, put them back in the pit barrel for about 2 hours. Then we'll come back. In the meantime, we're going to make a bourbon barbecue sauce. So stay tuned. I'll show you what that looks like. And then we'll sauce these ribs and eat them. Stay tuned. Alright, let's make this bourbon barbecue sauce. We start this out with a little bit of ketchup, about a cup of ketchup in our pan, which is rapidly getting hot. A little bit of ketchup, a little bit of Grandma's molasses. Can you see that? About a half a cup of Grandma's molasses. That's good stuff. Grandma's molasses. About a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. That's your basic barbecue sauce right there. That's your basic barbecue sauce. Whatever you add to it from here on out is just going to flavor it, further flavor the sauce. So what I want to do is, I want to put a little bit of Dijon mustard in there. About, oh, I hate it when it does that. About a tablespoon of Dijon mustard for some flavoring. It'll also lighten it up a little bit. Can you see that? Oh yeah. It's coming together, boys. It's coming together. Stirring some Dijon mustard into our barbecue sauce. Now I think I want a little bit of heat. So I'm going to put some of Big Lou's Louisiana Gold hot sauce in there. This is a really great hot sauce that Big Lou sent me. I got to get more on Amazon. It's made with cayenne peppers and Tabasco peppers. So the 2 kinds of peppers really complement each other. I'm going to put about a teaspoon of that in there to give it a little bit of heat. It's already sweet with molasses and ketchup, but I'm going to sweeten it up some more with some honey. Some clover honey. Just about a tablespoon of that. Clover honey. It's really sweet now. It's a really sweet sauce. It's only got that little bit of vinegar for acidity. The Dijon mustard. That's a beautiful barbecue sauce just as it is, let me tell you what. But here's the kicker. Maker's Mark whiskey. Bourbon whiskey. And you know, I see these guys putting bourbon in their sauces and stuff. You know, they put like a little bit of bourbon like that. I'm putting a good bit of bourbon in there. I'm putting a good slug of bourbon in there. That's the rest of that bottle. I've already used the bottle one time. What was that? It was 200 milliliters. So I used about 100 milliliters in the first time I used it. Now I've used another 100 milliliters of bourbon in our bourbon barbecue sauce. And boy, I'll bet that's going to be awesome. We just got to let that cook down a little bit. I think I'm going to serve this like on the side as a kind of a dipping sauce. But I need to reduce that down a bit, get it to thicken up. It's not too bad as it is, but I would like it to thicken some more and get those little clumps of Dijon mustard dissolved in there. And I think that's about it. I could have put some of my root boy rub in there. I think that's not a bad idea. Let's do that. Let's drop a little bit of root boy rub in there for a little bit of flavor, a little bit of extra flavor. That's got some salt and pepper in there, some other good stuff. Okay, I think my barbecue sauce is done. It's just got to cook down a little bit, get a little thicker. And then we're going to get these ribs off the fire and cut them apart and sauce them. Oh, that smells great. You can smell the bourbon cooking out of that sauce. Don't that look good? It's almost the consistency that I want. I'm just going to cook it down a little bit more. Getting ready to serve up some bourbon ribs Royale, so stay tuned. Now the ribs are done. Here's the Frosty Root Boy mug, star of the show. And here's today's beer. This is one of the ones I got from my daughter's beer club. This is called Anchorage Brewing Company in Anchorage, Alaska. This is called Wolfchild. What an interesting can, a beautiful black can with a skull on it. Looks really cool. And let's talk about Double India Pale Ale, 8.4% alcohol. Rob, you're not going to like this one. You're not going to be able to buy it unless you go to Alaska to get it. Anchorage, Alaska. Let's pour some of that out. I know I'm going to like it. A Double India Pale Ale, and it's kind of a hazy pale ale. A double IPA from Anchorage, Alaska. That's a long way to go for beer, isn't it? But isn't that a beautiful brew right there? What a beautiful brew, and a good pour too for a change. Hey, Rob, let's sniff the sniff off it anyway. Oh man, it smells great. It smells great. 8.4 alcohol. Let's quaff the froth off it, Rob. Wow, that's a keeper. If you can get to Anchorage, Alaska and get some of that beer, I highly recommend it. Hey, let's check out my ribs. I tell you, they are maybe a little too cooked, I think. They're literally falling off the bone. I went to pick one up and the bone just came right away from the meat. I'll tell you, and I didn't get much of a smoke ring, but that bourbon barbecue sauce is making my mouth water. It's so delicious. I gotta get some of that in my mouth. Hang on. Oh yeah. That's delicious. You can really taste the bourbon in there because I put a lot. Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's some good stuff. I'm licking my fingers. Finger licking good. That's my ribs Royale, bourbon barbecue sauce, baby back ribs. I garnished it with some pickled jalapenos. It is finger licking good. Let me tell you what. Babies, if you like this recipe, I got a million of them. Actually, I have about 700 recipes. So come back next week. We'll do another one of my recipes. And yeah, you know what I always say, we may not cook anything good, but we will drink a beer. This one's amazing. My daughter got this from her beer club from Anchorage, Alaska, Wolfchild. Double IPA. These ribs are actually a little too cooked. The bone is like a little too separated from the meat, but that's the way my wife likes them. So I guess it'll be okay. Anyway, babies, that's my video. We'll see you next week, okay? Bye.